So we out here. But without further ado, we're gonna bring our headliner / closing speaker. This woman, oh my God, she's such a beautiful singer. She has a book out called Self-Identity by the EBONIZER, which is talk about, she gonna explain it. It's like, I'm emotional right now because it's like, man, like this woman done a lot of things, putting this event together, doing tours all across the globe, not just in Chicago, but all across the globe, because at the end of the day, if you're a business and you try to get your brand out there, you can't stay stagnant. You have to go, you have to travel. And she has one hell of a story, and I cannot wait to hear it, even though I heard it, but it's like when she's in a different hat and she's speaking it, it's a different version, but it's all the same thing. And it's all mostly with mental illness and self-identity. So if y'all can start clapping right now, Give it up to our closing speaker, the EBONIZER.
Hey, y'all had a good time today? Yeah. Oh man, I need some energy. Let me say that one more time. Y'all had a good time today? Yeah. I mean, these speakers done so good, they made my job easier, right? First, let's give a round of applause again for the speakers. It just made me so emotional because everybody that spoke, I just felt a piece of me in your guys' story. Losing a loved one. I lost my grandmother back in October to cancer. And everybody knows I love my grandma. That was like two peas in a pie. And when she passed, I didn't know how to deal with it. Because, you know, grandma, that's grandma, right? Everybody went to grandma's house. So when she left, it was just like an empty space. And I felt that. So I just want to let you know that, man, I love you, sister. Because it's not easy to get over a loved one that you love so dearly. So when you talked about that, that just touched me. I was getting a little emotional because I was thinking about Lainey Luckett, because Lainey was something else. Everybody know Lainey. Lainey was, she something else. But I just want to commend you because you're doing so, I just love seeing our black queens out here winning. You know, us black women in the media, we get so much flack. You know, it's just so mega connotation when it comes to our image. But when I see you, Lakita, and Candace, I know that, man, it's time for us to take our power back and to show the world that we are more than just being ratchet, loving hip-hop, but we out here doing great things. Curtis, man, Mr. Kershright, oh my God, powerful, just powerful. When you sat down, I said, oh, he about to preach now, he man. The preacher had to go sit down and then, ooh, I'm gonna tell you a thing or two. Brought me back. And George. First of all, George, let's get a haircut for George because he was streaming live over here. He's working. Me and George was talking this outside of Facebook, and it takes a lot of courage to leave what you know and go start somewhere else. It takes a lot of power and it takes a lot of self-confidence. So I want to commend you, George, for taking that step, because sometimes we have to learn that we have to put ourselves first. It's not about what our family think, what other people think about us. We gotta put ourselves first, right? How can I love somebody else, encourage somebody else, motivate somebody else if I can't do that for me? It starts with you. I can't be a hypocrite. I can't tell you to believe in yourself if I don't believe in me. And this is why I'm doing this. I'm gonna tell you something. Everything you see, this expensive room, out of pocket. This tour that we're going on is out of pocket. And I'm saying this because it's not about the money for me. When I decided to do this, now I was having a conversation with God. I said, God, me? You sure? Because the way my bank account set up, I don't know how we're gonna make this happen. But he said, do it. And I'm glad I've been obedient. See, sometimes when God tells you to do something, stop worrying about how you're gonna do it. Just know that he will do it, he will provide. And because of this, we made an impact today for the people that's here today and the people that's gonna watch this. Through your pain, through your suffering, And through your trauma, there's joy and it's a testimony that's gonna touch somebody else. So I'm gonna commend you all for being here, for taking a step and initiative to share your story. Because trust me, through your story, somebody else's life is gonna get changed. I want to shout out Miss Diane for your tutoring. Let me tell you something, I wish I had you when I was in school. Because I promise you, I was paying attention. Even though I was a smart kid, man, when it came to that algebra and I said, why we need this? The algebra. But it's like, remember this. But what you're doing is very important. Education is very important, especially when it comes to our black children in our community. We do not take it seriously enough. So I commend you for what you're doing. Is needed, especially for adults. Because sometimes our ego gets in the way and we don't want to say we need help. So I commend you for what you're doing. And NAMI, Louisiana, thank you so much for coming out and being with us today. I love you guys' missions. Actually, with this tour, we did connect with a NAMI in your city to donate. When I read you guys' mission, it just touched me. Because again, a lot of people are afraid to say that they need help, to say they're going through some things. And that was me. You know, in the black household, oh, what's wrong with you? You'll be alright. What you crying for? You better wipe them tears out your face. Go ahead and clean the dishes like I told you to. Right? And I mean, I've done a lot of great stuff. I could sit here and tell you about all my accolades, what I've done. I've been singing since the age of 4. When I was born, my mom said I had such a big mouth, she knew I was going to use my mouth for something. And I just remember the joy that I felt when I was singing. We had a record player back when we still had the cassette tapes, and I played the Lion King soundtrack. I played that, was all around, got my mama's nerves, just jumping on the sofa, playing with the windows, and just singing. When I was in music, I was in my element. Nothing else mattered. But the problem was, I thought that if I just honed my talents and gifts, that's all that mattered. But I was wrong. Because I didn't take the time to know who I was, I didn't use my talents and gifts effectively. When I was 7, I joined Walk With Me Soul Church Chicago. It's a renowned gospel group. I sung with stars like Celine Dion and Carter, Yolanda Adams. Been to award shows before. I was in R. Kelly's video, World's Greatest. I was the little big head kid around the circle because my head couldn't fit inside the roll, so I couldn't get into it. I seen all that, done all that. So you'll think, man, I've done musicals and all that. Oh, happening. I was in church, speaking, bring the word, youth choir everywhere. So you'll think, oh, Ebony, she's all together, she's good. No, I wasn't. Because I was slowly doing all that stuff. But I failed to look in the mirror. And when I finally looked in the mirror, I scared myself because I didn't know who that was. And so people ask me, why are you doing this? Because the purpose of this and the key to mental health is to realize who you are. So I want you to repeat after me. Say, I am.
I am.
That I am.
That I am.
Who I am.
Who I am.
And nobody's gonna change me. No, but y'all said that a little weak. I gotta say it with confidence, like I know who we are. Do y'all know? Let's say that one again. Say, I am.
I am.
That I am.
That I am.
Who I am.
Who I am.
And nobody's gonna change me.
Gonna change me.
So let me ask you a question. Do you know who you are? Still finding. I ain't talking about your titles. I'm not talking about how much money you make. But who are you? I look at this world, especially social media. We live in a fast-paced world. Social media is like the new news. I don't have to watch Channel 9 no more. I find out everything on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and everything. But what I see is a world that's lost, out of control. People are losing their minds off of these worldly things. They lose their minds because of titles and materialistic things. To the point where people just don't know. They don't know. And I got caught up in that. I got caught up in the perception of who I was to others. Instead of perceiving who I was because of who I am. See, identity is the true composition of an individual. You can't run away from it. No matter how hard you try, you can't run away from that. You could hide it, you could try to bury it, but you can't hide your true identity. So I had a conversation with God. I said, God, what's wrong with me? Like, who am I, God? Like, God, who am I? Like, you created me. Like, God, tell me. And you know what I had to do? Go back to the basics. I said this in my book. In order to start learning who I was, I had to start learning my mother and my father, because their blood is in my veins. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my parents. My parents, how old am I? Hold on, I'm 30. Okay, so they've been married. They've been together for 33 years and been married coming up in April 31. And I grew up in a two-parent household, Christian background, all that. And so, you know, as kids, you don't understand your parents. You really don't. You know, as a family, with my siblings, we went through a lot. And that's a different day, a different story. And I blame my parents for a lot of things. I'm like, if I was them, I want to do this and that. If I was them. But as a child, you don't know. But the older I got, the better I understood. So you know what I had to do in order to find who I was? I had to learn who Urban was, who Merle was. See, my mom, her grandparents, rest in peace to both my grandparents. They was married for 55 years before my granddaddy first passed. She was born in a two-parent raised a family home, 7 kids. She's the middle child. That's why she's so spoiled. So I hope she ain't watching this. What I got from my mom is strength, endurance, intelligent. My mama she could find a solution to anything, even when I didn't know there was a solution to be found. My mama has a good heart. Ambitious. I get a lot from my mom. But what the negative thing that I got from my mom that I learned is that she allowed people to put her in the background. She would sacrifice her dreams, her aspirations, just so she could help somebody else. You say, what's wrong with that? That's a lot wrong with that. Because God didn't put you in this world to push your purpose back when He gave it you. And then I looked at my father. My father had a different situation. That's another story at another time, in another place. But he didn't have the close relationship with his father. Father he left my grandmother toward the family home, had a bad negative impact for the family for years. So when my dad was young, they was like 25, my mom was 22, young. He didn't have no direction, had nobody. And at the time, I'm like, we're going through all this. But by the time my dad was like 30, he had 5 of us. I do not know. I'm 30. I couldn't imagine having 5 kids. I'd be up the creek somewhere. But what I learned from my father, one thing I admire about him, he don't care who you are. Irv is not going to change for nobody. My dad been the same back then, and he's still the same now. But what I also learned from my father is that he shuts himself in. He don't like to express himself. Sometimes like, Daddy, I just try to squeeze it out. What's wrong with you? Come on, it's okay to cry. And I learned the reason why I was behaving or was doing certain things because I got it from my parents. In order for me to fix that, I had to learn the root of the problem. See, a lot of us, we don't want to go to the root of the cause. We're afraid of that. Some of you might like your parents, some of you might love them. But I realized that's who make up who I am. I can't change. Unfortunately, we can't choose our parents. But I got mad respect for them because they made a woman that you see. And so I was sitting here thinking about my life. And I realized the most important part of my life is that I was trying to please other people. See, for me, I was always the new kid. Switching schools. That's how I know everybody. Everybody know me. We went to schools, everybody. Jewish schools, Catholic schools, public schools, private schools. And I always felt like I had to fit in. It got to the point where I just felt so out of place, I felt invisible. Anybody read that book, The Invisible Man, that movie? Right? So I was reading that book, and I said, man, this man kind of smart. What he did was he found a way to change the body refractive index so it couldn't observe or reflect light, making him invisible. But see, here's what the problem went into. He didn't know how to reverse that back. So he was stuck in a state of invisibility. That's what happens when you try to change who you are. See, someone's trying to change the way you talk, change the way you walk, try to change where you come from, try to change who you really are because you don't want nobody to see. But what happens is, when you do that, you cause yourself to be stuck in invisibility. Nobody is like you. It doesn't matter. Look, I'm not perfect. I got flaws. I'm gonna tell you, I got plenty of them. But what I realized is that in order for me to get and stop being invisible, I have to woman up. Start changing who I am. Start accepting everything. Because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty fly. Right? I'm all that is some and more. Somebody say that I am more than enough.
I am more than enough. Come on now.
You are more than enough. And what I realized that I'm not living my life with you. I'm not living my life with nobody. Because you know what? I only got one life to live. I was born to this world, Shanice Ebony Archer. I'm going to die by myself as Shanice Ebony Archer. As long as I live, as long as I am Shanice Ebony Archer, I'm going to walk this walk and walk this purpose that God's given me. And that's the attitude that each and every one of you must have. You are bad, you are more than enough, and then some. Walk that purpose and walk in the gift that God has given you. My dad said this. He said, Ebony, you want to know the true key to life? I said, what is that, Dad? My dad always preaching. He a minister. I'm like, here we go again, right? I'm like, here we go. What this old man gonna say now? He said there's one thing that stuck with me. He said, Ebony, association brings on assimilation. I'm like, wait, look at the dictionary. What is this? Like, what is this? Like, you say you try to be all big and stuff? Like, break that down to me in dumb terms. We be up all night. I'm like, come up. I'm getting tired of whipping this cream. I'm getting tired of making these cakes. Grandma, why are you doing this? Come on, you torturing what I do. I'm sorry, I won't do it no more. I said, Grandma, why you do this? She said something that was profound to me. She said, Ebony, this is my purpose. I love doing this. She said, I believe God put me on this earth to help everybody else, to feed people. When she said that to me, I shut up instantly. I realized the key to my mental health was purpose. Somebody say purpose.
Purpose.
Purpose is the true intention of why something or someone was created. In order to really conquer mental health, you have to learn what your purpose is in life. See, all these celebrities, they think that their purpose is acting in movies. That's not their purpose. That's why most of them going to have crazy. Because they got all this money. You think they got all this money, this wealth, this fame that they have? They're not helping, you're hurting. That's why most of them are committing suicide. Going crazy, turn to drugs. Because you know why? In order to learn how to use your talents and gifts effectively, you have to know what's your purpose. I learned the true definition of purpose from my pastor. Now, I'm coaching Church of God in Christ. Everybody know, you already know. You already know. Church every day. I mean, Sunday school, Sunday morning service, then the second service, and then we went to eat, then we went to the third service, then we had convocation and Bible school and Bible study. I'm like, Mama, do I have to go to church again? I love Jesus, but how much Jesus do I need? It got it so bad, I was going to go to my pastor and give him my 2 weeks notice. I said, you know what, Pastor, I love you. I can't do this no more. I work overtime. Even God rests on the seventh day. I can't do this. But church taught me a lot. Kojic taught me how to be disciplined.
Thanks.
It taught me how to act, how to present, how to look, how to get up before the church, and how to present myself before God. And my pastor, blessed pastor, Dr. James E. Sims. He had a favorite quote that I love to say, and the true meaning of purpose. And he said this: the purpose of a thing is in the mind of the maker. Purpose is what was wanted to make the maker make the thing. We'll say that one time because I know they went over your head. He said the purpose of a thing is in the mind of the maker. Purpose is what was wanted to make the maker make the thing. So I have to say it one more time. One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Ghost. The purpose of the thing is in the mind of the maker. Purpose is what was wanted to make the maker make the thing. You know what that means? You are not a mistake. You was purposed to be here. God makes no mistake. He said he knows the thoughts and things that he thinks towards you. Whoever's watching this, or if you're here right now, just know that you are somebody. Say that I am somebody.
I am
somebody. Say I will do great things.
I will do great things.
Because I have purpose.
Because I have purpose.
I'm going to take it one step further. See, purpose is the key to unlock the door to your future. But it's going to take faith to push that door open. Faith without works is dead. I want to be here if I didn't have faith. Trust me, I would not be here if I didn't have faith. But I know my purpose. And my purpose is to inspire and motivate. My purpose is to help other people find their purpose. So I want to let you know today that don't let nobody stop you, tell you what you can't do. Especially if they're not doing it. Don't you hear what people tell you what you can't do and they ain't doing nothing? Like, what you doing? On Facebook? Scrolling? What you doing? Gossiping? So never let nobody take your life and take your shot. Because you are bad all by yourself. Because I know I am. I'm bad all by myself. I remember this one time in my life. I was transitioning, being a gospel artist, right? And you know the church is, I went to do R&B and soul. They call me a heathen and all that. And there was one particular time, I used to sing background for a lot of R&B and gospel artists. So it's a well-known gospel artist in Chicago. I used to do background for her. So one day, went to the studio. Nobody was there. I said, okay, cool, I was early. All of a sudden, I heard noises. Like, what the hell is going on here? Thought it was the TV. Long story short, once to the back, and it was performing sexual activity. That crushed me. Anybody knowing that grew up in the church, it was held to a high standard. But to see somebody that I identified with, to see somebody preaching against the same thing that she was doing toward me. Not only did I left the church because of that, I left God. I said, God, you telling me this is what I need to do and you got, and this is what she's doing? But I realized something. Stop identifying yourself with other people. We are all human, we make mistakes. But I have to realize that in order to identify myself, I have to go back to God for myself. I got lost in religion. I got lost in no four walls. When I started, let me tell you something. Doing this right here is not easy. You don't know people's gonna receive it. You don't know people gonna support it. But one thing, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but find that higher power, whatever it is. Because I tell you, because of the power of God, and I'll be here all day telling you about my story, how I almost committed suicide, because I felt like I wasn't worthy. I was taking pills, taking a whole bottle of Tylenol pills, because I felt like I wasn't good enough. All my life I thought I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't skinny enough. I never felt like I was enough, no matter what I did. Let me tell you something, when I found faith, and I actually developed that relationship with God, nothing else matters. My life made a whole U-turn. So don't tell me what you can and cannot do, because I'm a true testimony. That when you truly find out your purpose, and when you truly find out who you are, nobody is going to stop you. So today I commend each and every one of you guys. Because you know what? You are important. You are all of that and then some. So thank you. Thank you for being part of this bigger movement. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than me just showboat and show I'm doing something. Cause I'm telling you, man. Me and Jeff, when we get paid, $0, right? But we still in here doing it. This is what's needed. You didn't have to be here today, but you are. And for someone that thought she wasn't enough, look at me today. And it's still a journey. It's a continuous journey. I'm still developing and learning who Bethany is. I want to let you know, we got this. You got this. And don't quit. Keep going. Don't stop. Get it. And I was kidding.
I was ready. I was about to.
But I thank you guys so much. This just made me so happy. And I'm getting emotional. But to be here right now, y'all don't understand, to be here right now standing, it's a true testimony. Of pain, frustration, confusion, but I'm still here. And you guys are still here. So give yourselves, give everybody else a round of applause. You made it, you did it. Everybody that's watching now, you missed out. If you wasn't here, you're watching this, you missed out on the treat. We are going to city to city. Go to www.theebonizerbooktour.online. We're doing a spring tour, but we're coming back doing it in the fall. And I want to make the first announcement. We're actually taking this globally in 2023. So watch out. Mental health, we're using music, entertainment, and the art of speaking to change lives. Just not here in the U.S., but across the world. So join the movement. You see what happened here? Look, this is only the beginning. So make sure you go to www.theebonizerbooktour.online and you want to be a part. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. Oh my God.